As I begin my speech, I want to start off with this. I take you to be my lawfully wedded husband or wife, to have and to hold from this day forward for better, for worse, for richer, for poorer, in sickness and in health, and in death until we part. Death to us part, really? Well, in case you haven't heard, divorce today is through the roof, and we let it tear down our homes with nothing left standing. It has an effect on the individual, on the family, and the people around us. You need to fight for your marriage today, and you need to do this by standing firm to your commitment for better or for worse, until death do us part. It's about not giving up. You need to stop the terror of divorce by standing firm. And I want to help you believe that this is true. And as I discuss this, I will show you the 3 points to discuss and validate the issue of divorce, how God values the grounds of marriage, and also how you can stop divorce by implementing God's values into your life. So as I begin with my first point, I want you to take heed of these words. The issue of divorce today is something that should not be taken lightly. It is serious and it is deadly. CBC News reports that 4 out of 10 marriages end in divorce. 4 out of 10, that is almost 50%. Fox News reports that young kids whose parents divorce struggle with math, social skills, emotions such as anxiety, depression, and at least 2 years after the split, this is still in effect. An article of recent and thorough studies from Psychology Today tells us people believe that it was okay to divorce, that it is for self-growth. It was okay for parents to leave families and to pursue a dream of happiness. This is selfish, plain and simple. Divorce is real. It is impactful and it is dreadful. As you watch movies, soap operas, or TV shows, take a look at the family. What do you notice? The majority of the time they are split up, either a single parent or a single family. Now, believe it or not, I want you to know as I close at this point that divorce is real and is something to be taken seriously today. And as I move on, I want to continue and to make one thing clear to you. Even if the fact of divorce is permissible, this does not mean it is beneficial. Therefore, my second point, you will see how God values the grounds of marriage, not the grounds of divorce. Pay close attention because I want to tell you the very true story of a man by the name of Hosea. Now picture this man, you've met him for the first time and you know him to be a man of nobility, of loyalty, of faithfulness. He is successful in his life and he is a man who is really rightly known in the neighborhood. Now you see that he marries a woman who was known as a prostitute. She was an adulteress, she was unfaithful, unloyal, and she was always failing as a wife. Now, this wife, she would actually go off. Once they were married, they had 3 children together. She would leave him and be with other men. Hosea knew why she was out late in the night or why she was up early in the morning. Hosea had every right to leave his wife because she was being loved by other men. Hosea had every right to look at her, to tell her he hated her, to divorce her, to leave her. But Hosea did not do this. Instead, he went back to his wife. He picked her up out of the midst of her dirt, and he told her that he loved her still. He stood by his commitment. You see, God had commanded Hosea to stay true to his wife, to still show love to her. God didn't command Hosea to leave your wife to find a woman of moral faithfulness, but he commanded her to stay true because God values marriage. He says in the Bible, Matthew chapter 5, verse 32, "But I tell you that anyone who divorces his wife except for sexual immorality makes her the victim of adultery, and anyone who marries a divorced woman commits adultery." Also in Mark chapter 10, verse 6 to 9, "But at the beginning of creation, God made them male and female. For this reason, a man will leave his father and mother and be united to his wife." You can see that God clearly values marriage. He values commitment. And as I finally refer to my last point, I need to let you know that by implementing God's values into your life, you will have the solution to stop divorce, not only from preventing it from your life, but also from the lives of your friends and your families. Let me tell you how. It takes practice, patience, and grace. Now, I myself am not married, but as I observe other married couples and talk to other families that are married, I've learned that you need a lot of these above three. And these things are how you can implement God's values into your marriage, into your life, and stop the popular problem of divorce by implementing patience, practice, and grace. And a teacher of mine by the name of Ron Luce, a founder of Teen Mania Ministries in Texas, once wrote, "A thriving marriage requires sacrifice. It means laying down your rights and desires to grow in unity with your spouse and to be a blessing to him or her." Divorce has actually almost hit my very own family. There was disagreements, frustrations, arguments, and everything else in between. They separated for only 3 weeks and then realized that this is ridiculous. They made a commitment. They had children to love and care for together, but not individually, together. They cut out their differences and still have to at times, because that is what marriage is. It is something that is smooth sailing with no storms along the way. It is something that requires practice, patience, and grace. And you are sure to see the difference in your own marriage life when you implement God's values into it. So the next time that you feel frustrated with your marriage, you feel like there's nothing else left, you feel like you just want to give up, that you just want to let it all go, don't let it blow over. Don't give up and don't give in to the easy way out. Remember that divorce is a problem today, and God seriously values the grounds of marriage, and that by implementing God's values into your life, you can stop the issue of divorce. You have the solution. So again, I remind you to let you know that divorce today is a serious thing. It hits the roof and it tears down our homes with nothing left standing. It has an effect on the individual and on the family and the people around. So stick true to your commitment and don't give up, because you can stop the terror of divorce by standing firm. And I just want to close with this, that you have the power to step forward, yet you have the inclination to step backward. And just a quote that I read from Cha-Cha, a divorce is like an amputation. You survive it, but there's less of you. Thank you.